In 1956, Dodge was offered in three series. You had the Cornet in the basement, followed by Royal Series, Custom Royal Series at the top. It's worth mentioning that D500, which was considered a package, a performance package, it could be had in all of those trims. There were two special Dodge trims to be offered mid-year. The one was called the La Femme, which was marketed towards women. It featured a lavender and white two-tone exterior body color with interior to match it. It came with an umbrella, cap, and purse hook. Dodge also offered another special car called the Golden Lancer, sapphire white body and top, with Gallant saddle gold exterior and interior trim. Dodge offered the Royal Custom or Custom Royal from 1955, 56, 57, 58, and 59, being replaced by the Polara in 1960. Dodge Custom Royal could be had as a four-door sedan, two-door convertible, two-door Lancer hardtop, and four-door Lancer hardtop. Most of the time, Dodge would use the Lancer term to describe their hardtop offering, but it's important to note they also called Lancer convertibles in years prior. 1956 was more or less a carryover design that started in 1955, so let's compare 54 Dodge Royal with the 56 Dodge Custom Royal on the bottom, starting in the front. And to me, a little bit of a side note, but to me, the 54 Dodge sort of looks like a 53 Chevy. Virgil Exner was hired to be Chrysler's chief of design, and he deployed an all-new styling concept across all of Chrysler's lines beginning in 1955. The styling concept was called the forward look. Exner's tenure would last at Chrysler from 1955 through 1962-63. Sources conflict on when it exactly ended. He would be replaced by Elwood Engel. Before getting into the comparison, I wanted to show you this. I try my best to put the right pictures in the right place, but I am limited to what Google provides. So I wanted to show you this. Car of the Week, 1959 Dodge Custom Royal. First off, if you look in the search bar, I'm trying to search for a 1954 Dodge Royal hardtop. So it gives me a Custom Royal, and that's not even a 1959 Dodge. That's a 53 Chevy. It's just interesting. It doesn't, and when you click on it, it takes you to a 59 Dodge Custom Royal, but there's a picture of a Chevy Bel Air in there for some reason. It's interesting. Why is it, and is it just me, or was Google the best probably 10 years ago? Because what you typed in the search bar, you actually got. It rant over. Let's compare 54 Dodge Royal on top versus 1956 Dodge Custom Royal on the bottom, starting in the front. Let's talk about some similarities before getting into the differences. Both of these cars have single headlights, even though that the headlight buckets are completely different. Also take a gander at the bumper profile. They're very similar in design, but they are done completely differently. Just about everything between these two is different. Notice the windshields. The windshield on the 56 is more wraparound style, whereas the 54 is more curved. Also notice the hood ornaments are different. Trim is different. Even the body lengths look to be different. Front fascia is completely different. Turn signal location is relatively the same place. Also check out the wheel openings between these two. The 54 has rocker trim that the 56 doesn't have. Moving to the side profile, longer, lower, wider on the 56. Just take a gander at how different the trim is between these two, as well as roof profile. Just pretend that the 54 on top is a hard top and not a convertible. Sometimes it's hard to find the right angles. Both of these cars have gravel guards, but the gravel guard on the 56 is drastically smaller than the one on the 54. Because the roof and windshield profile changed, the vent window profile also changed between these two. Just look how massive it is on the 54 versus the 56. The side mirror placement goes from being mounted on the door on the 54 to mounted on the fender on the 56. Moving aft gives you a better look at the roof profile situation between these two. The sail panels are totally different. The 54 has more of a wraparound back glass than the 56 does in ways. The 56, I keep wanting to call it a 55. A 56 has more tail fins than the 54. It looks like they just tacked on the tail fins. Very small brake lights on both of these cars, really. The bumpers kind of sort of look very similar, but the overriders and or bumperettes on the 54 are bigger. Backup light location is in a different spot, as well as trunk lid profile. It's all completely different. It's good to say. Jumping inside to take a gander at the dash and interior situation, which you've guessed it, both are different. Which one do you like better? Hey there, my name's Jay, and I just wanted to introduce myself. This is my channel, What It's Like. It's the automotive channel that features all of the cars from yesteryear. You know, back whenever we actually made cars here in the United States, when they were machines, not appliances. I do between 4 and 5 episodes, more or less. They're like mini documentaries a week with engine episodes sprinkled in. We do company histories as well. If you dig this episode, I have a vast catalog with over 680 mini documentaries, and I know this part's like the church offering plate, and I personally hate asking for stuff, but if you like this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing. Be sure you hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. P.S. I just wanted to tell you that most of these episodes go live Eastern, around 8 o'clock Eastern time. So if you hate commercials, you just will have to watch the one commercial to get in, and then there aren't any. Plus, I'm generally down there in the comment section with you all. On to the specs. 212 inches long, 74.6 inches wide. It rides a wheelbase of 120 inches. It weighs 3,505 pounds. Price, $2,658, which would be equivalent to you spending $31,319.20 in the year 2025. Total 1956 Dodge was 233,686 units, which would make Dodge holder of about 3.7% of the whole entire car market. Total custom Royal was 49,293 units. Moving on to engines. 315 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8, 5.16 liters. It was good for 218 to 230 horsepower as a poly head, or 260 for the D500 through 295 for the D501, which were the Hemi heads at 4,400 RPM. It could make up to 330 pound-feet, or 428 Newton meters around 2,400 RPM, with a bore of 3.63 inches and a stroke of 3.8 inches. Compression was anywhere between 8 to 9.5 to 1. 5 main bearings, solid valve lifters. When backed with a 3-speed manual, 0 to 60 on the smallest horsepower figure could be had in about 9 seconds. You could expect around 8 seconds on the D501. Theoretical top speed of 110 miles per hour while achieving an average of anywhere between 12 to 15 miles to the gallon. That is on the base horsepower figure. It drops to around 10 miles to the gallon on the D501. I found this 1956 Dodge Custom Royal at Classic Auto Mall out in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, where they got this car, and they got over 800 cars for sale when recording this episode. If you've never been there before, it's like car heaven. I swear, when you walk through the front doors for the very first time, you could hear angels sing for hours of operation directions. To get the full scoop on this very car, be sure to click the link below after the show. Also, if you're kicking around the idea of maybe selling your car, because we both know that selling cars can be a colossal pain in the ass. Advertising your car, answering questions that can be answered if the people that were looking at the car would just simply read the description, waiting for people to show up. Then the people don't show up on the day that they said that they're going to be there. It's a lot of back and forth. Classic Auto Mall takes all of that headache away. Plus, they have shipping available, so your vehicle can go anywhere. They take care of all of the headache. So if you're interested in their consignment ship program, I will link that in the description as well. And oh yeah, be sure to tell them that Jay from What It's Like told you about it. I'm not kidding when I tell you this. This is the nicest custom Royal Lancer that I have ever seen. Let's talk styling. Starting with the headlights. bezels are painted with petite trim that is bright. Single headlights. Notice how far they set back. These headlights look newer. They almost look like Xeon headlights, but they look cool. Coming down here, you got the turn signals. Let's just look how this piece wraps around. Absolutely stunning bright work on this car. The bumpers have overriders and or bumperettes. There are bolts on this bumper. The bumper wraps around almost to the wheel opening, but not quite all the way. Notice this painted piece here. It's got the Dodge crest in the center there with V8 badging. Has the center line that goes up towards the hood ornament. Look at all of the different design work in that hood ornament. The center line continues towards the wraparound windshield with windshield wipers that oppose. So just check out the angle of which the front end goes down. You got Dodge script in the front. Lancer badging on the fender. The fenders are flared as well as rolled. I love how this has the beauty. They're almost like beauty rings, but they're not. This part is just painted body color. Really sets this off and works with the white wall. This car doesn't have any rocker trim. Super straight. It does have an external cowl vent there. Antenna is mounted to the fender. The mirror is also mounted to the fender. And notice how it has this bright piece that comes all the way down. Looks like stainless. This car does have drip rails which start right here and they run the cabin of the car. Just check out this panel here with all of the bright work and texture. Wraparound back glass. Has a beltline trim. The rear fenders, or the rear openings, are also flared. There is a grapple guard in the front. You got the custom royal badge here, or script I should say, and there's the badge, check mark, as well as trim that kind of mimics a check mark. Bumpers wrap around. The bumpers in the back are totally different than the bumpers in the front. This car has really nice fins. And just look at all of the detail in those bezels. Also notice the fin isn't like slab styled or slab, it isn't all one shape. It has dimples in it, like this channel. There's a lot going on with the fin design. gas filler is on the passenger side. While we're back here, man, that's an absolutely massive trunk. And notice it's all, I don't know if that would be stock, this. It's the same material that they used on the inside. The spare tire is in a case here. The bumper jack should be on the other side. Taking a step back so you can see how absolutely massive that trunk is. Before getting inside to show you the interior, just take a look at this door handle and how it's designed. And just look at that door panel. It all looks like a vinyl material, but up here this is a metal. And then vinyl separated by bright bars, carpet at the bottom. Armrest as well as door handle to pull the door shut, door handle to get out, window crank for the big window. It operates like this. Since this is a hard top, it's all framed out with this part here that's channeled to go over top of this lip so it doesn't leak when it's raining. There's a vent window. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, high beam switch, brake pedal, gas pedal, just hand brake. There's a light to tell you the handbrake is engaged. Just take a look at this interior. Here's what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood would look like. On to the button switches and knobs, starting with the drive modes. Push buttons for the automatic transmission, neutral, reverse, drive, low, fan blower, defrost, heat, and ventilation slider. On the other side of the steering wheel, that is the parking brake or park function on a normal gear selector. At the top, it's off. On the bottom, it is on. Key and ignition, windshield wipers, cigarette lighter, AM radio, ashtray, clock, coolant temperature, oil pressure, 120 mile per hour speedometer. Notice 110 and 120 are flipped so you can read them better. Odometer, gasoline gauge, amp meter. Up above you have sun visors. They are on the massive size. Got rear view mirror in center. Not a daytime, nighttime rear view mirror, but rear view mirror nonetheless. And there's another sun visor over here for the passenger with accessory mirror. Just look at how awesome that door panel looks from the inside. Beautiful steering wheel. Full-time power steering as advertised on the steering wheel. Has these nice texturized. It's just nice in here. Everywhere you look around, it's nice for a Dodge. On to the glove box test. Here is our test subject. Here's my hand for reference. My hand is 7.5 inches long, just to give you scale of how big this camera is. Here is the glove box in question. It fits in the hole, but it's not going to shut. Here, hold on, do it this way. Oh, yeah. It doesn't fit, unfortunately, but I just want to show you how big this hole is. It almost fit. I mean, it's a pretty good sized glove box, all things considered. You could put your lunch in it. Man, just look at how that seat pivots out of the way, allowing plenty of access to get into the rear. Also notice it's fully carpeted back here. Comes with Dodge, aftermarket Dodge mats. There is a transmission tunnel. Here's what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse or pillar to glass ratio in this car. It is nice in this car. This is what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. There is a parcel shelf with aftermarket speakers. Let's talk about creature comforts. I'm not entirely sure if this interior is the original interior, but it's really nice. It feels like a very thick vinyl material. The seat back is in the seat position that it's a bit reclined. Very comfortable. The seat bench is rather wide. My hand is 7.5 inches long. There's 7.5, 7.5. So it's 2 and 2.25. With that said, I'm 6'2", and I don't have a problem with knee space back here. There's tons of room. Creature comforts, there is a full-length armrest with ashtray. The windows do go up and down back here, but also notice they did not skimp out. This has the same texturized metal that the front seat has. There is a coat hook at the top as well as light, and there's also a light over here and coat hook. Windows operate like this. I mean, how cool is that? And there's all this bright work on top. I mean, it feels amazing in here. It's hard to believe that this is a Dodge. Alright, so getting under the hood releases right back in here. It's hidden a bit. So that's the first release, and there's probably a second one right here. You just pull it towards you. Dual horns in the front. This is a 2-belt system with a generator at the top. All ran off the crankshaft. Water pump fan combo. This one's been upgraded with the dual master cylinder and power brake booster. This one's got the super red ram in it, V8. So a mechanical fuel pump down there. The heater box is mounted to the firewall. On the positive side, great performance, great styling, awesome interior, space throughout, both front and rear, big, huge trunk, huge glove box despite the camera not fitting inside of it. Against it, these are rust prone, these desire high octane gas with higher horsepower engines. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather, 3 scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1956 Ford Victoria or 1956 Dodge Lancer or 1956 Chevy Bel Air? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. The next two aren't fair by any stretch of the imagination, but which one would you rather have? 1956 Hudson Hornet or 1956 Dodge Lancer or 1956 Studebaker Golden Hawk? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Final scenario, 1956 Mercury Monterey or 1956 Dodge Lancer or 1956 DeSoto Fire Sweep. Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section, that's the key, will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for getting to the end of this video. Just know that I appreciate everything that you guys bring to the comment section. I love reading the stories and the memories that you guys share. Until next time, toodaloo! Welcome to the after show. This part of the video doesn't have any sound or commentary, but it gives you the opportunity to enjoy this car as it moves around slowly. You get to see all of the lines, all of the details that you don't get to see from pictures from far away. Enjoy.